Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar, Email 101, Email Marketing for Beginners. My name is Jill Bastian, and joining me today is Megan Buell, and we are going to go through some tips to help you get started with your email marketing. Just a couple of things before we actually start the webinar. This will probably be about 45 minutes long, and then at the end we'll be more than happy to take questions. So feel free to type your questions in the GoToWebinar window, and we'll answer as many of those as we can at the end. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So here's our agenda for the day. Why email marketing works. So we're going to go through a couple things. Some email marketing basics, and then we also have some tools and resources for you to help get you started. So this is a little bit about vertical response. We've been in business since 2001, so 9 years, and we have over 50,000 customers, and we love helping all of them grow their business. We've seen millions of email campaigns over all the years, and since our business focuses on enabling small and mid-sized companies to do permission-based email marketing, thousands of people have flocked to our site to perform their email marketing activities. So this page is just showing you a little bit about us and some of the things that we do to help ensure that your emails get to where they need to get, especially that last one. I'm not going to read through all of these. Also, we'll send you an email. I forgot to mention this at the very start. We'll send an email tomorrow, a follow-up to this particular webinar with a link to a recorded version. So you don't have to write everything down that you see on a slide. You'll be able to see that later on.
Hello, everyone. My name's Megan, and I am one of the marketing coordinators here at Vertical Response. And first, I'm going to talk a little bit about why email marketing works. There's actually many different reasons why email marketing works, but I'm just going to cover these most important 3 reasons. Email marketing is quick and easy. With the Vertical Response tool, we offer over 500 templates, and all you really need is your content of your offer and some images, your logo, and you just plug those in with our easy-to-use tool and just kind of go for it. All you have to do is plug each thing into where you want it to go. Take a look and test your email. Of course, test it to various email clients. And again, it's just simple and easy to use. Also, with the Vertical Response tool, we have great reporting tools, so you can instantly see once you've sent your email how your email is, how it's doing. So watching your click-through rates, your open rates, and you can even see who's opening your email and who's clicking to your website and actually making a purchase. So you can instantly see how well your email is generating revenue. Also, email marketing is affordable. With our tool, you can send emails for less than $10 a month, and also you can just send each email like a postcard. So, you just pay per email, and it's very, very affordable. The Direct Marketing Association determined that on average, for every $1 you spend on email marketing, you can expect to get over $42 in return, which is awesome. I'm not sure of any other marketing tool out there right now that generates such a high ROI, so it's definitely efficient and effective. So definitely take advantage of the tools that we offer.
So there's some common types of email messages. First of all, you could send out a newsletter. So if you have tips that you want to share with people who are using your service or your system, or even if they're just customers and you have tips on using your products or things like that, you can send out a newsletter. It can be educational. You could include best practices, news, or have like a blend of all of those, an offer perhaps for a product or service that you have, as well as some educational information that you can send out with your newsletter. You can also send an email as a promotion. So if you have a sale that's happening either on a product or a service, you can send an email about that. If you have a special offer, you can send an email including maybe a percent off sale if that's something that you're doing, or maybe even if you have a special event and you're offering a discount on the event, you could send an email for that. Thank you. Email messages are also a pretty popular thing. And this is something that you could do in addition to sending a promotional email or a newsletter. You could send an email to thank people for joining the mailing list and then maybe include some information about the service or products that you have and a link to your site where they can go check that out. You could thank someone for their business, so people who are making a purchase either from your website or in your store or purchasing a service, um, you could send a thank you for that. And you could also send a thank you for a referral. So if one of your great customers recommends your service or products to someone else, you can send them a follow-up thank you email for the referral that they sent. And then one more option that you could use your email marketing for is an invitation. So this could be an invitation to an event like a birthday party, or if you're maybe an art gallery and you're having an art opening, if you're partnering with a local business to have a special event, you could send out an email as an invitation to that event. You could even send an email as an invitation to take a survey.
All right, and the anatomy of your email. So there are three main components of the email that you definitely want to have. First of all, your list. So your list must be permission-based, opt-in. So VR follows the CAN-SPAM Act, which means that we do not allow rented or bought lists. So these must be lists that you've generated on your own from clients that you see on a day-to-day basis, or people that have opted into your list or your newsletter, through other sources. Um, how to build and grow your email list is actually one of the number one questions we get here at VR, so we will talk about that a little bit more in the next slide. And also, you want to definitely communicate to the reader what's in it for them, and clearly and quickly, because if the reader doesn't really understand what they're going to get out of it, they will probably close your email or even maybe just unsubscribe from your list. If you're not offering something that is attractive to them, then they may just not read it or get rid of it. So definitely communicate that up front. And also make sure that you're communicating not only like the features of your company, but also the benefit. Again, what is your client going to get out of this? Images. So you can choose your own photos or images, or you can actually choose from 75,000 images in our image gallery. We have a new integration with Picnic, which is Google's image editor, which makes it easy to crop and resize your images. So definitely take advantage of that. I'm sure you can find something in there that will definitely work for your emails.
So let's talk a little bit about building your mailing list. As Megan said, this is one of the biggest questions that we do get here at Vertical Response. And actually, I don't know if any of you participated in the webinar that we held last week, which was 25 ways to build your mailing list. If you didn't, it's actually recorded and it's on the Best Practices tab on our help site if you want to go take a look at that. There's a few I'm going to go over here now. As Megan said, we do require that any list mailed through our system be opted in. This is so that you're not, there's a couple reasons. This is so that we have a better delivery for your emails, and also you don't really want to use a purchase list. If somebody receives your email and they'll wonder why a company they've never heard of is suddenly mailing to them, that might leave a bad taste in their mouth. So you want to make sure that you're building a list that's a good opted-in mailing list. So of course, probably the best thing to start with is whatever you currently have. So any customers that you currently have or who have made a purchase through you before, you could certainly mail them with information about upcoming products or specials. You could also use a opt-in form. Sorry. There's a couple pictures here on this slide of opt-in forms. And Vertical Response definitely adds this to your account. As soon as you create an account in Vertical Response, we also set up an opt-in form for you that you can use on your website, on your blog, or even on your Facebook fan page. So anywhere that your customers or potential customers could come in contact with your company, you want to make sure that you're giving them the option to sign up for your newsletter. So you also can use the forward to a friend link in your emails. Again, that's something that we provide in our system. You can add that anywhere in your email. And when somebody clicks on that link to forward it to a friend or colleague, the person who receives that email can click a link that will add them to your mailing list. That's free. So is adding the opt-in form. The opt-in form is also a free part of your Vertical Response account. There's some other ideas. If you have a retail location where people are going to register to check out, you can have like a guest book where people could sign up to receive your emails. Again, also if you're having an event where people are coming to see your company for a specific reason, again, give them the opportunity to sign up to receive more information from your company. If you go to trade shows or conferences, you can ask people if they'd like to be on your mailing list and exchange business cards and then easily grow your list. As long as you let them know that you want to send them newsletters, that's a great way to start building your list. Actually, somebody here at Vertical Response was at an event last week, and one of the people that she ran into at the event asked if she wanted to receive their newsletter, and she said sure, because we all like to do that. And he actually used his iPhone, pulled up his website opt-in form, and she could sign up right there off of his iPhone. I thought that was a really great trick to get, well, not trick, but a really great idea to get people to sign up for your newsletter. They don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to remember your website. Right there, as soon as he asked her, she was signed up on the mailing list. And then again, if you're going to be using the newsletter sign-up form, make sure you put that on all of your web pages so that as people are going through your website, they have the option to sign up whenever they're ready. So you also want to make sure, once you start growing your mailing list, that you give them the information that you promised. So you want to make sure the content in your email is relevant, relevant to your company, relevant to the people on your list, relevant to your products. And then you also want to make sure that you're mailing on a regular basis. If you mail too frequently, people will get tired of seeing too many emails and unsubscribe. But on the other hand, if you mail infrequently, then it's entirely possible they'll forget who you are or that they signed up to receive your email and click the spam button or unsubscribe. So generally, we recommend that you mail at least once a month. But depending on your recipients or the content of your email, you might want to mail more than once, maybe twice a month or something like that. So that's something that you might want to try doing some tests to see how often your recipients want to hear from you, but generally at least once a month to keep your company in their mind. So creating an effective email. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the content here for the next few slides. So you want to make sure that your email is easy for your recipients to read and to get the information that you're trying to get to them, or to get them to do the action that you want them to do, like go to your website and make a purchase, sign up for an event or something like that. So it could be very tempting to add too much information in your email, but if you want your recipients to take some kind of action, you want to make sure it's very clear to them what it is that you want them to do as soon as they open the email. Generally speaking, people looking at email spend about 15 to 20 seconds with an open email. So you want to make sure that the important information is at the top and easy to find. So some of the tips on the slide here: break up your email into short blocks of copy. If you look at the sample that we have on this slide, you can see that there's a very small amount of information at the top of this email. This is what we would call above the fold. It's above scrolling. It's bulleted to break up the content to make it easier for the person reading it to find the specific information that they need to find. This one is showing online benefits, so it's very easy to find what those benefits are with those bullets. You definitely want to make sure that you're using a lot of links. our system's going to track how many times a link is clicked and what links your recipients are clicking on. But you want to make sure that it's easy for them to get to your site to do whatever it is that you want them to do. So there's a link here that says, how do I access print content? That's great. They could probably also add a link to the image of the newspapers there so that people can easily get to the website. Most people these days know that images are clickable, so you want to make sure your images go where you want them to go. And I'd also probably make sure that the top of this email where it says introducing is also set up as a link so that these people would have three options or three opportunities to get to your website right here at the top of the email. So you want to also make sure that you're using action verbs to get people to get to your website. And you want to be direct and specific. Again, you have a short amount of time to get them to do what you want them to do. So you just want to tell them what it is. So you can do things like buy now. You could also have some kind of an incentive or a reward in your emails for people who are reading your newsletters and who have become loyal customers. Also, you want to make sure that whatever the action is you're trying to get them to do, click on the link, click on the image, that there's some kind of value. So you could say, click here to see all 10 tips. So if you had some tips in your newsletter, you could have that. Learn more techniques to reduce stress and have a link to go to more information on that. You also could create a sense of urgency. So you could have things like limited time or limited time. So if you're having a sale, make sure people know that there's a limited time for the sale, or also limited quality or quantities, not qualities, limited quantities of any product that you might be having a special on so that they know that they need to act quickly. So again, one of the things I mentioned a little bit on the last slide was to make sure your best content is above the fold. So in this image on this page, the newsletter on the right-hand side there with the red box around it is showing you what above the fold is in an email client. It's before you start scrolling down. So this is what your recipients are going to see first. This is where you want to make sure that your best content is, and the important information that your email is going to be about is here at the top. Probably whatever you talk about in your subject line should also be right near the top here too, so your recipients get to the content that they want to get to. Again, there's some little statistics on this slide. 50% of all email users spend 2 to 3 seconds scanning the top 3 inches of your email. So you want to make sure you have a lot of information at the top and not a lot of like a big logo or something like that that could cause them to miss some information. You also want to use maybe a table of contents. As you can tell, I'm not sure if you can see in the image on the right side of the email, it says also in this issue, and there's links that jump to different sections. That'll make it really easy for your recipients to not only see what else is in the email and it's at the top, but to easily get to what content is interesting to them. So here's a scary looking email, and this is something that everybody should be avoiding when they're creating their email campaigns. This is what an email that would look like if somebody created an email with all images and the email client was blocking the images. So most of you probably know that most email clients at least have an option, if not a default, where images are blocked until the recipient turns them on. This is what it's going to look like if you have only images. 39% of email users view emails with the images turned off. So if you have some of these people on your mailing list, which obviously everybody's going to, you want to make sure you also have text content as well as images. So our system is going to track the open for you with a pixel, a hidden pixel that's on in the email, and it's only in the graphical version, and they have to have images showing. So you want to make sure that you're encouraging your recipients to load the images in their emails. So one, you can track the opens, but two, so that they can see the products that you're talking about, or if you're in real estate, the houses that you're selling, or the artwork that you have. So you want them to see the images that you have in your email. So you want to make sure that the text of your email is asking them to, or making them want to turn on the images. Also, another reason that you don't want to have all images is delivery. So most spam filters are looking for emails that are comprised of just images like this one, and they'll throw them right into the spam folder because spammers tend to send emails that are just an image of something that you don't want to buy. So make sure you avoid that problem as well by making sure you have a mix of text and images. And so generally, the mix of text and images that we would recommend is 80-20. So 80% text, 20% images. Now on the slide it says the 80-20 rule, and this isn't really a rule. It's not like you're going to be breaking email marketing code if you do 60-40. It's just that you want to make sure you have more text than images. That makes it easier for your recipients to see what you're trying to get, the information you're trying to get to them, even if they have the images turned off. The second item on this slide says use alternative text. So when you're setting up your images in your vertical response emails, you can set up alt text. And on the previous slide, I can show you that, there's little squares with question marks in them where the images are supposed to be. If this company had used alt text, instead of seeing question marks, the broken image icon, you would see whatever the alt text said. So what I would recommend to them if they're really gung-ho on using only images is having their alt text say the information about what they're trying to convey with their email. So they could say that there's a 20% off sale in the alt text, and that would get people to want to look at the images instead of looking at those broken image icons instead. So you want to make sure that you have either your call to action, click here to get 20% off of your purchase, or some information about your email, what your image is about as your alt text so that your recipients can see that even if they're not looking at your images. Also, this email has a nice blend of text and images. So you can see there's a lot of text in there, but the images are great. So for instance, on the top one, they could probably set up their alt text to be cruelty-free brushes. That would be a great thing for their recipients to want to take a look at. They have lots of links in their email. The only thing I'd probably change on the left side is that peach color with the white text. That's kind of hard to read, but otherwise this is a great example of how to have a nice blend of text and images.
All right, so now we're going to talk about the best practices for content of your email. And first we're going to go over the from label and the subject line. So these are the first two things that your recipient will see when they get your email. So pretty much probably the two most important things involved in your email, a lot of people will say.
I always say that.
If you're not going to get your client here, you're not going to get them ever. Because if they don't open your email, then they're not going to see what you have to offer. So first of all, you want your from label to say exactly probably what your company is, the name of your company. I wouldn't go by maybe the CEO's name or a sales rep's name. Most people are going to recognize you through your company's name, so I would definitely stick to that and don't change it. Don't one week use your company name and the next week maybe you use a salesperson's name. Just keep it consistent. I actually am subscribed to a email list of a company that I really do like and respect, and they're great. But probably once every 2 weeks, I get an email from one of their sales reps who I've never spoken to. I've never engaged with this person at all, and I always get really confused and really frustrated as to why I'm receiving this email from somebody that I don't know. And I end up opening it, and it takes me a while to realize who it's from. So as much as I like them, if they keep sending to me, I might unsubscribe. Anyways, so yeah, definitely from label, keep it your company name. Unless you are somebody like a real estate agent where people are going to only know you by your first and last name, then that would be an exception to the rule. So definitely use your best judgment, but I would say try and use your company name. So subject line, the second thing that your recipient will see, definitely very important. Again, you want to keep your subject line short and sweet, so probably 40 to 50 characters. And actually, in the vertical response tool, when you start typing your subject line in, it will tell you once you're getting into that 40 to 50 range, it will highlight the number of your characters in red, so you know how far you're getting in there. So I definitely wouldn't go any longer than 40 to 50. Um, so think of the subject line as the teaser of your copy. You definitely want to let your recipient know what they're going to see when they open up this email, what they're going to get out of it. If you're offering, limited time on shipping or something, definitely might want to call that out in your subject line. A call to action is great. Some sort of time limit. Time limit is great just to really get them to open it. So also, don't repeat who your email is from in your subject line. You have a very limited realty here, so you want to use it to your best advantage. No need to repeat who your email is from in the subject line. Big mistakes, masking words like free, using excessive punctuation in all caps. Most of us know that using caps means that you're screaming online, and I don't think you want to be screaming at your customers. So definitely do not use all caps. And it's probably the more caps you use, the more punctuation, exclamation marks, probably the better chance that your email is going to end up in a spam folder. So avoid using that as well. And test your subject lines. If you're sending out emails weekly promoting different offers, you can see what subject lines are working the best just by checking your open rate. So if one email got a better open rate than the other, you might want to consider using a similar subject line to that email. All right. So here we go, talking about the font that you use in your emails. So first of all, just to go back real quickly on what Jill was talking about earlier, not too many images. You definitely would slow down the loading of your images and all that, so you definitely want to be um, aware of that when you're designing your email. You don't want to use reverse fonts. Talk about hard on the eyes. You definitely want to make sure that the fonts and the design of your email is easy on the eyes to the reader. So these are definitely great tips in terms of different fonts and best practices. So stick to simple fonts like Arial, Verdana, and Times New Roman. These are, you don't want to get into the cursives and the italics and all that because it just really makes it difficult for the reader to read. Um, don't emphasize with underline. I recommend emphasizing with bold. So, and also underlining usually means that the text is going to a link outside of your email, so you don't want to confuse your reader. Um, Less is more. Don't try and use every font, every color, every style in the book. It's distracting and it looks unprofessional. White space is a good thing. Don't be afraid of it. So definitely just keep it simple, I think is the main rule of thumb there. So other best practices for creating your email, make it personal. You can definitely merge the first name of your recipients into your email, so take advantage of that through vertical response. When you do that, I think we all know that when you receive an email that has your name on it, you feel like the company really went out of their way to make sure that you felt special. So definitely take advantage of that tool. Birthdays and recent purchases, it's great to acknowledge people's birthdays. I know there's a company whose email list I subscribe to, and every year for my birthday, they send me a list or an email 2 weeks out that says, your birthday's coming up, come into our store and get your free birthday present. And, it's nothing big, it's, nothing special, but it's definitely makes me feel better about the company, and I get excited to go into their store and get their little birthday gift. And of course, I probably end up shopping around more and buying more. So it's a great way to get people into your store if you offer them something for their birthday. Um, so um, remind recipients where they signed up for your email when you send them an email. So um, probably most of you are here because you received an invitation for this webinar because you recently attended one of our webinars um, from April. So that's, definitely remind people why they're receiving your email, when they might have subscribed to your list. Um, People may not remember right off the bat, which may cause them to just unsubscribe immediately if they don't know why they're receiving your email. Include a forward to a friend link. This is a great idea to build your list as well, Jill had said earlier. And what a great example of this is a bakery here in San Francisco recently sent out an email offering a free cookie for the day. And one of us got it here at Vertical Response, and somebody forwarded it on to a whole bunch of people, and we all ended up getting the coupon for one free cookie, and we probably all subscribed to their list. So now not only do they have one person at Vertical Response, but they have all of us. So it's definitely a great way to build your list and make it personal. So using buttons for your call to action, this is awesome, just a great best practice. We recently discovered that using buttons instead of just links in your copy or in the text increases your click-through rate by 26% on average. So definitely take advantage of that. It's for some reason people just love buttons. And also link your emails to your social media pages and your Twitter. Um, if you have, you can increase your newsletter rate by having people on your Facebook page that subscribe to your list, and also just engage them with your company a little bit more. So definitely include those links in your emails. So the steps to sending your first email campaign. So the first step is upload your list. You can upload CSV or tab delimited files in Vertical Response. And if you don't, if maybe your customer management system doesn't offer that way to export your list, you can easily convert them to CSV just by saving as and changing the format. So don't be afraid if you've never really seen that before. So you just upload your list. It's easy in Vertical Response, and then also upload your images. So you should have your logo already uploaded in there as well, but you can upload all the images you want, or you can choose from 75,000 images that we have in our gallery, like I said earlier. I'm sure you can find something in there that will definitely make your email look great. So then build your email. Like I said earlier, we have tons of templates. All you need to do is choose the one that you like most and add your content, add some images, add your headlines. Just play with it a little bit, see what you like, see what you don't like, and then test it. Send it to yourself, send it to various email clients, and send it to friends and colleagues, see what they think before you send it out. Also, just to get another set of eyes on it, so you make sure there's no spelling errors or grammar errors, because people really like pointing those out if you send them.
Yes, they do. And internally, we do that as well. Before we send out any of the newsletters that we send out to our recipients, we have quite a few people who look over them just to make sure there's no big glaring errors or anything that doesn't work correctly. So that's definitely a great thing to remember to do, is to test your email.
Yeah, definitely. And then last step, well, not the last step, but one of the last steps, launch and send your email. It's very easy. You can schedule it to go out a week from now, or you can schedule it to go out immediately, whatever you want to do. So it's definitely easy to do. And then once you've sent your email, you can instantly start tracking through your reporting tools. You can see how many people are opening, how many people are clicking, and it's kind of fun to see how well you're doing. So to continue with reporting, once you've sent your email, like we said, you can instantly see the reporting and how your email is doing. So you can check the overall performance. Like I said, your open and click-through rates. If you sent to multiple lists, maybe for one email, you can see which list is doing better. And then also your links. So if you have maybe 5 or 6 links or 20 links, however many links you have, you can see which ones are doing better. Maybe the link is going to the same place, but you've titled it differently, so you can see which title for that link works better, which is awesome. And also compare your emails to other emails that you've sent in the past. It's a great way to, like I said earlier, test your headlines and see, what's working, what's not. Maybe some certain strategies are working on a certain type of demographic and other strategies aren't. So definitely test and analyze and see what's working. We have tons of reporting tools, and it's definitely a great thing to take advantage of. So now that we're getting towards the end of our webinar here, for all our new customers, we have a buy one, get one free offer. So you can purchase up to 200 free credits by May 31st. So it lasts through the month, but get them while you can. And
get them before they're gone.
Exactly. Your offer is only good for your first purchase only. So if you've already made a purchase, I apologize. But definitely take advantage of that offer while you can. And
we'll have this info in the follow-up email too, so you don't have to frantically write that down. I mean, you can, but you don't have to.
So we're going to start taking questions here pretty soon, and feel free to type them into the GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar, window up there on the top right-hand corner. But if you have any questions or anything after the webinar is done, if you ever need help on anything, we have tons of resources for you. We have the How to Do Everything help site at Vertical Response. Take a look, and I'm sure you can find lots of great resources, different recorded webinars. We have little videos and demos on each different step in the email creation process. So if you get stuck figuring out how to do something, really, there's lots of stuff there for you. Our Get Started Kit, for all you newbies out there, which I think a lot of you probably are, this is a great resource for you to get started. Just the basics of creating emails through vertical response and creating emails as a whole. Free marketing guides. We have a great page with tons of marketing guides, just in terms of creating your emails, but also best practices and different strategies for you. And then we also record a lot of our demos and webinars, so take a look at that page as well. You can watch this demo or watch any other demo that may look appealing to you. So every Tuesday we have our Getting Started with Vertical Response demo, so that will take you through creating your email, uploading your list, sending your email, looking at the reporting tools. So it'll really take you through the vertical response tool. And then how to build and segment your list. We have a webinar coming up on that, I believe. When is that?
Next month.
Okay, next month.
Oh, no, wait. Next Thursday.
Okay, next Thursday. And we also have another webinar tomorrow for how to increase your deliverability rates, secrets to email delivery. So that one's at 1 o'clock?
10
a.m.
10 a.m. Pacific time. It's a very popular webinar, so if you have any interest on what Vertical Response is doing to ensure that your emails are getting to your recipient's inbox, as well as what you can do when you're creating your emails to make sure they get through spam filters, feel free to join us again tomorrow morning at 10. It's free, like all our webinars and demos are.
Yeah. Oh, and then our VR Marketing Lounge. This is great for beginners as well. A lot of people come here and talk about, creating emails, and there's tons of resources for you. So definitely take a look at that as well.